when we're out walking in nature, we will see this garlic mustard plant. This is a picture of it when it's in full bloom at Bluff, when there's plenty of seed heads off of the flowers that we see there. So we like to pull this before it gets to this point. And so we have a early view of it when it's in February or March, when it's low to the ground and not quite as easy to pull, but the more it grows, the easier it is to pull. And then we want to tamp on it to keep the seed bank down. And here's a picture of what it looks like when we get the full taproot. Another bad invasive that's in the area that you'll notice is creeping Charlie or ground ivy. Now we're going to see a lot of this. This is not the focus of any pulls at organized pulls at Bluff now, but it is truly a bad plant too. It's not as bad as garlic mustard as far as being allelopathic and changing the soil content, but it does cause a sprawl of an unwanted plant in the area, which can aid in displacing our beautiful natives. We'll definitely point out the creeping Charlie ground ivy problem there. One of the reasons I'm not focusing on pulling this is because if you pull, then you disturb the soil. That brings up more seeds. So if you don't have something else to plant in place of it, it could do more harm than good. So one thought is, if I do pull some, you definitely have to tamp the soil down to get the seeds back in. That might help. But you're going to be amazed at how much creeping Charlie is there also. What we're trying to save is the bluebells you'll see here. So in April you'll see them coming up, but it is a concern that the garlic mustard is definitely changing the soil chemistry and squeezing out beautiful natives in this area. So besides bluebells, we have others that we're concerned with. The toothwort is also there, and that happens to be in the mustard family with garlic mustard. And the problem with that is when garlic mustard spreads, it also can squeeze this out. It also is known that the West Virginia white butterfly will lay their eggs on a garlic mustard instead of this, causing a problem. It will poison the caterpillars and they will not survive. That butterfly hasn't been seen at Bluff or in the area for a long time, but it's possible it could come back. And other natives that you'll see is ginger, wild ginger in the winter. It will look like this. And you just need to be aware that it looks similar, but it is very different as far as the edges and what it looks like. So you don't ever want to pull the wild ginger, and this is what it looks like when it's in bloom in April, most likely. And then others you'll see is bloodroot. It's a beautiful native. And then you will see early saxifrage at Bluff. And twin leaf is another beautiful plant, but it has different leaves. You really won't mistake it. The thing is, I just want people to be aware of other plants, to respect them, not pull them, not step on them any more than you have to when you're out there pulling garlic mustard. Another is spring beauty. You'll see that there quite a bit. And bluets are another one. Another pointer when you're out in nature or pulling garlic mustard is to be aware of other plants that are around you. And you'll see garlic mustard has another stinging friend called nettle. When it gets larger and taller, you'll see more of the little stingers on it that can cause problems. When you're there in March, it'll be lower to the ground and not quite as apparent of the stingers, but it can in turn see what it does to your hand. It can really be quite uncomfortable. Also, when you're out there, you may see pretty cranefly orchids out there that won't hurt you. And then at the very end, this last picture is of mayapple, and that is to remind you that some very beautiful native plants are also poisonous. So I doubt that anybody's going to be pulling or eating any part of this, but I wanted to point out that mayapple is poisonous. We leave it alone. It's great for nature, but we don't want to have anything to do with it.